Up until the spring of 1995, Blur and Oasis had been quite respectful towards each other. But when Oasis scored their first number one, things changed. Here's Daniel Rachel again.
The single incident that I feel probably changed everything was the, some might say, party celebration when Oasis had their first number one single. And Alan McGee invited Blur to the party. And the way Damon tells it is that Liam was in his face going, number one, number one. And that really riled Damon. Now, what has also come to public attention, I guess, and what Damon told me and what Noel told me, was that on the very same night, Damon got off with Liam's girlfriend. Damon says he didn't do that intentionally to rile Liam, but it certainly had that effect. And from then on, what had been probably more posturing, it became something a lot more pointed and antagonistic.
This is the voice of Damon Albarn from the original interviews. If you want to understand why the whole thing kicked off between you, it's because you and Liam shared a girl, and that's the root of it all.
Yeah, it's... is it that simple?
I don't know, you tell me.
Well, that was quite a weird 24 hours because, yeah, it's true that, yes, it's true. But the interesting thing is that the next day, I went to see Tony Blair with a terrible hangover,
Very next day.
having had a great night. Yeah, and that's when I met Tony Blair and Alistair Campbell.
But is that so? Was that incident?
So my point is that 24 hours, I mean, was very pivotal in the reason why you're in your book.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But is that...
So I was there in both places within 24 hours.
Wow. So that's the reason for the antagonism between you and Liam?
Not from my point of view, but clearly, I suspected it was something to do with that, but that always seemed kind of slightly ridiculous considering the context of the sort of, the quite sort of bohemian atmosphere of the time. I mean, we were just young and enjoying life and going out and,